The other big reason I finish books I hate, spite. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Just Another Struggling Writer, the beleaguered author's one-stop shop for commiseration and hopefully inspiration. My name is Carrie Scher, and I am just another struggling writer. Today I am doing kind of a breakdown of how I utilize the 5-star rating scale for books. But before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has been watching my videos and subscribing. I just hit another follower milestone. It's still very small, but to me, it means the world, and I am looking forward to hitting my next milestone. So thank you, everybody. So moving on to the breakdown, let's start on the lower end and move our way up, starting with DNFs. I do not rate DNFs because there is a wide range of reasons why I DNF. It could be that I just felt that it wasn't the right time for me to read this book and I'll pick it up later. It could be that the writing was good, but not for me, or that the story was good, but not for me. It could be that I had problems with the story that maybe were later resolved. I just don't know, and I don't feel comfortable rating it because I don't know. And of course, there's always the fact that I just really hated it. But because of all of those factors, I just choose not to rate DNFs. I think DNFing it speaks for itself. For my 1 stars, these are usually books that I would have DNF'd if it weren't for content or the other big reason I finish books I hate, spite. I try to DNF books that I hate, but there are just times where I need a book for a video or I am just so committed to finishing it. Usually, if I get past the 50% mark, I'm going to finish it no matter what I think of it. Or it's just that I hate it so much, I want to be able to rate it 1 star instead of doing what I do with DNFs and not rating it. And so I need to know everything about the ending of the book in order to feel comfortable giving that rating. And so I am just powering through it on pure loathing. So I don't actually have that many pure 1 stars because, again, life is just too short to read books that you hate. 1.5 stars are books that I thought were very bad, but some little crumb was keeping me hanging on. Some little iota of potential that, even if it wasn't realized, it helped. It was the only reason getting me through to the end. That could be a character, that could be a cool magic system, that could be a one tiny sliver of plot or a side plot or something that, even though everything was shit around it, it kept me focused and kept me driven to see it through to the end, even if I didn't like anything else about the book. 2 stars are books that I didn't like. I didn't really feel very strongly about anything. The plot was probably not my favorite. The characters I didn't connect with. The setting was bland, whatever. But not to the point that I loathed it, that I had such a visceral reaction as to give it a 1 star. These are books that I didn't like, but was able to finish relatively easily. So for 2.5 stars, these are books that were closer to being fine, but something just bothered me, something didn't quite work for me or was problematic or something that I really just wished the author had done differently and didn't quite earn the 3 stars. 3 stars is exactly what it sounds like. It is the exact middle. It is the books that were just fine. And there are lots of ways that a book can average out to a 3 star for me. Maybe that the plot was really good, but the character's really bad. Or maybe that the setting was really fascinating, but the plot was kind of lacking. But either way, I felt like enough of it worked together to get me to a 3-star rating. A perfect example of this is Leviathan Wakes, the first book in the Expanse series. I read that last month and I gave it exactly 3 stars because my enjoyment of the book was really high, but I really didn't like the characters and the ending was kind of a letdown. And I just had some middling feelings, and the big high of my enjoyment and the low of the characters ended up canceling each other out. 3-star books are books that are good, they're fine, but I'm not really going to remember them, or I wish that they had been better in other ways. As we move into 3.5, these are books that are good. I did like them for the most part, but they're either just too forgettable or generic, or something about what the author did with the characters or the plot was just a little bit underwhelming, just a little lacking in the wow factor. 4-star books, meanwhile, is what most people would consider a 5-star. 4-star books for me are good books that I liked, books that I really liked, even books that I will remember, with characters that I will connected to, and plots that I really found compelling, and settings that were really interesting. The writing was good. 4-star books, again, for me, are most people's 5 stars. So a lot of the books that I read and gush over are going to have just 4 stars. And you might wonder, why is that? Why not give it a 5-star? And I'll get into that in a minute. But for me, 4 stars is a good book, even very good, that I really enjoyed. As we move into 4.5 stars, this is a book that is almost perfect, but one little thing is holding it back. It might be just the ending or a plot twist that I guessed, and so I was a little bit let down by the lack of surprise, or, a plot hole that wasn't filled, or, a character dynamic that didn't get resolved. Something, and it's usually just a gut feeling that something was holding it back that prevents it from reaching that 5-star status. And finally, 5 stars. 5 stars for me are perfect books. Books that to me just hit different. Books that change my brain chemistry. Books that leave an imprint on my life. And that is why I hold them back so much, is because that is a high standard for me. To earn 5 stars from me, it literally has to be something that, like, I want tattooed on my eyeballs. I want to carry that with me. I want to grab people and shake them about how much I love it. And that just doesn't happen too often. It's not that the books that I give 4 stars and 4.5 stars to are lacking. It's just that perhaps they just didn't hit me at the right time, or maybe it was just the mood I was in, or something in my gut just said, rate it lower. And I know that's not fair, but that is how I rate 5 stars. It has to get me, it has to be perfect, not just in the writing and the characters and the plot and the setting and all of that. It also has to hit me at the right time, in the right moment, and impart something to me that I will carry with me forever. Yes, it's a high standard. That's why I don't have that many 5 stars. And that's why I say that 4 stars for me is a very good rating, equal to what a lot of people think of as 5 stars. That being said, I have also started this year using the CAW pile system. If you're not familiar, CAW pile stands for 7 categories, and that is characters, atmosphere, writing, plot, intrigue, logic, and enjoyment. And basically what you do is you take each of these categories and you rate them out of 10. And then you take those 7 numbers and average them together. Then you can take that number and use a custom scale to find out where on the 5-star rating scale that would fall on. It's been kind of hit or miss for me. Sometimes my gut feeling and the CAW pile rating don't quite match each other. I've been trying to trust that CAW pile rating more because it is more comprehensive, and I actually have to spend the time thinking about each element of the book and why it worked or why it didn't work. And so I'm trying, if I run into a discrepancy between my initial gut rating and my CAW pile rating, I do favor the CAW pile rating just because, again, it's a little bit more comprehensive. It's not for everyone, for sure. I tend to think it's a little bit generous, but as you've heard, I withhold a little bit in my stars. But if you're looking for a new way to be more comprehensive with your reviews, I think you should take a look at CAW pile. It's really given me a lot more to think about in my own rating systems. And that is just about everything from me today. Again, thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. I really do appreciate it. If you want to support the channel and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me. I am still just a baby channel, so every single number I see and deeply appreciate. My next video is going to be my April TBR, and I have already picked out my free choice for next month, and I'm really excited about it. So I hope you look forward to it, and I will see you then. Bye.